on with that left rear wheel.
The order at the moment, Jason Bright 4.2 seconds ahead of Russell Ingall in second. Glenn Seaton is just about a second behind Ingall. Todd Kelly in fourth. Marcus Ambrose in fifth. As Jason Bright just squeezes his way down the inside of Tyler Mecklam's ultra-tuned car, finding his way through the traffic. This, by necessity, really does knock their lap times around. You quite often see a driver with quick times compared to his pursuer. It just depends on how and when they're hitting blocks of traffic.
Here's the Russell Ingall move on Glenn Seaton. A very neatly timed job. No contact made. Snuck under the inside. Glenn wasn't too defensive about it because he sensed that Russell had so much more speed. There was no point bringing both of them undone with still a long way to go and a lot of points on offer. Sometimes it's better just to fold your cards and keep the points than try and be a hero.
Wright's got into his rhythm here. 4.3 seconds, so he sustained that gap. He's just pumped it out by a tenth of a second over Ingall. So Jason Bright, Russell Ingall, Glenn Seaton, Todd Kelly still in fourth. Great effort by the Kmart Commodore driver.
And this is all set up from that first initial manoeuvre of Jason and his team to bring him in right at the very beginning. Remember, he was the first guy we remarked on coming in, and this is the yield from that decision.
The lessons you learn from this type of racing, Neil, it always seems to work that way. You go in early, the field has to come back to you. It happens over and over and over again. The big question is going to be, though, as we get toward the end, right down to the dying laps, is tyre condition and tyre wear. Who's going to have the freshest tyres on? Lownde's picked up a fresh one on his left rear, which may or may be of some benefit to him in a situation like that.
You'd have to say the track temperature now would have to be in the sort of late 40s, wouldn't it?
Very hot day, Baz. Very surprising. I thought the temperature was going to drop a lot on Sunday. But this Indian summer has stuck around. It's very, very hot conditions for racing. Russell Ingall looking very competitive here.
Bright, Ingall, we're on board with Russell, Seaton, Kelly, Ambrose, Johnson, Perkins, Stephen Richards, Tony Longhurst inside the top 10. Good performance. And Mark Skaife 10th. And right behind Mark Skaife, Craig Lowndes.
Just 2.3 seconds behind the Holden Racing Team Commodore. So the old teammates now in rival teams and rival brands battling at the back of the top 10. It's going to be interesting to see where they end up at the end of 78 laps. 57 gone now. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, it can be right up to date on the Helix race score.
Glenn's actually been able to stay there with Russell without too much drama. So even though Ingall was able to sneak by under brakes, he's actually maintained the pace. Last lap time for Bright was at 26. 1 minute 26.9, so he's still showing margin over these guys at the rate of about on average sort of 3 to 4 tenths of a second.
Looking a bit further back. Let's have a look. There's Russell Ingall with his lights on. Glenn Seaton in third. So Jason Bright now drafted into the Holden Racing Team to replace Craig Lowndes. He had some big shoes to fill, and here is the man, and he's closing right on the back of his former teammate Mark Skaife.
Oh,
this is going to be a good battle.
A bit of interest here, folks.
Yeah, ever slightly. Yes.
Former teammates and a new lap record for Craig Lowndes. Is this guy fast or is this guy fast? He's getting some speed out of this car.
Keep in mind that they've just put on that left rear tyre, and if you had to pluck a tyre out and put it on here at the moment, that's the one you'd want, because it's really dramatically going to help you drive off the corners.
That's what I was saying. When you get down to this critical stage in the race, when tyres are looking pretty second-hand, Craig Lowndes may be in a good position. He's got a nice fresh tyre on that left rear, and he goes inside Mark Skaife. No contact there. Skaife wants to argue. They're going to go side by side through Ford XR8 corner. The crowd's going berserk here. Lowndes switches back on the inside.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Everybody's wanted to see this, haven't they?
Yeah, and both professionals gave each other room then, which is fantastic to watch. You know, Craig tried to crisscross him with a wide entry and then a narrow exit. There's a little kiss. Hi, Skaife, it's me. Remember me?
The thing is about these two blokes, they're very quick, but they're also very clean. If you follow their careers through, there have been the odd altercation, but fundamentally, they're blokes who like to keep their cars in one piece.
And they haven't had, you know, they've been in the sport for a long time now, and they haven't had a history of being lunatics. You know, they're basically on balance, race pretty hard with a lot of people a lot of the time.
Well, if any two drivers know each other as well, it's these two blokes. Mark Skaife in front. Craig Lowndes just ducks to the inside. As Paul Radicic gives him a bit of room. This is a great battle.
It's a little bit like Glenn Seaton and Craig Lowndes last year, only a sort of different set of colours.
Oh! Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Skaife now, just concentrate on finishing.
Oh, what's happened there?
We need to know more about that one. Just after we said these guys are capable of clean racing.
They've taken that theory and blown it out of the water.
Unbelievable situation. Skaife and Lowndes have come together on lap 60 of 78. Lowndes reversing the car back along the wall. It's out of business. It's had it.
I think he's trying to get it, so he's got
for the championship now. He's fucking out of the race.
Yes.
Plenty of passion here, V8 supercar racing, and Craig Lowndes is out of the Clipsal 500. We're interested to see a replay of that incident. I'm sure everyone in Australia will be wanting to see a replay of that. And we also talk about our viewers in New Zealand watching right across New Zealand. Dramatic moment in the Clipsal 500. Lowndes almost shaking his head in disbelief. I don't know what's happened there.
Will this bring out a safety car? Not a very good position.
Almost guarantee it, I would say.
Wow. And what effect will that have, if any, on anybody else in the field there at the moment? Look out, Craig's got the thing mobile again. Just actually he's going to perhaps get it into a safer spot.
Yeah. No safety car on that one, is there?
Righto, what's happened? This is going to be the most significant replay of the day. Oh, I think
Craig.
Look how Lowndes went right up the side of Skaife's car.
Well, you need to see a little bit more of that one if you could. In fact, the onboard might tell a better story, and here it is. So he tries another crisscross move, goes to the inside.
Look at that. Right up
Holy smoke.
That was a big hit.
Well,
that was a whack from Craig, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say that at the end of the day, he's just tagged his right rear. He's trying to start out wide, cut down on the inside and sneak up, but they just didn't get it done, and they touched, and then he ended up climbing over the front of the Skaife car. Massive damage to the front of the Falcon. Now, and what's the damage situation with the Skaife car? Well, look at that, she's an open wheeler.
And keep in mind, massive damage to Craig Lowndes' Shell Championship points chase. Keep in mind, this is a double points race. 360 points on offer for the race winner. And he's just thrown that all away. No chance. He's not going to get even a sniff of those. He's got 180 from winning yesterday's race. But it could have been a much bigger points haul had that altercation not happened. Now, the big question is Mark Skaife's car okay?
You reckon there'll be a bit of chat about this one later on?
How about that? Everyone was waiting for the classic battle between Lowndes and Skaife. I didn't think it was going to end up like that.
Remarkable, given that only just seconds before said, I know these guys are capable of getting on with this forever, and it didn't eventuate that way.
So out of character, wasn't
here's
it? Let's
another replay. Shell Helix replay shows the situation as Skaife in front. Lowndes just tagged him by the look of it. Just tagged him and then climbed over the front of the thing, and that's that. Wow.
It's going to fill newspaper pages for many days to come, I'm sure. Oh, now Lowndes, what's he going to do? He's got the thing fired up. I think he's going to try and drive it back to the pits. What's going on here?
He's getting it out of the way.
No.
He's just getting it out of the runoff area, is he?
What's going on? Yeah,
I
he
think
definitely wants
so,
to take it right out of the action. Oh, it's got all sorts of ruptured ancillary systems there, so not looking good. Jason Bright leading this one. Russell Ingall 4.3 seconds behind. Glenn Seaton, Todd Kelly, Marcus Ambrose, Stephen Johnson, Larry Perkins and Stephen Richards.
Then it's Longhurst, Skaife limping at the moment, Faulkner, Murphy, McDougall, Ashby, Mazira, and one lap down Jason Richards from New Zealand.
Have a look at these competitors now. If you look to the right of your screen, you can see how much further they are than the field, the one-lappers, and then there's cars that are 2 and 3 laps down.
And into the retirements. Wow, what a Clipsal 500. Stay with us. You're on Network 10, your home of motorsport.
Stevie Johnson here, and Anthony Tratt it is, just behind him, spinning. Well, he must have got that back under control, because I haven't seen a yellow flag out, or a full course yellow, I should say. So it looks like that's sorted. And that's good news for Jason Bright, because he has a 3.5 second lead over Russell Ingall, who is on the charge. Glenn Seaton in third place. Todd Kelly, Marcus Ambrose, great drive. Then Stevie Johnson, Larry Perkins, Stephen Richards, Tony Longhurst, Mark Skaife. And Mark Skaife, of course, had that incident with Craig Lowndes where he was tagged. Skaife amazingly is still out and circulating and looks to be handling the car okay, even though the right front guard has been peeled away. Lowndes' race is over, and Skaife's 9-point championship lead over Lowndes will expand if he can stay on the circuit. Fred Gibson must be a very frustrated man right now after a brilliant day yesterday.
Success on day one, disappointment, Fredo, on day two.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. It's motor racing, Greg, isn't it, really? You've got to think about how good we've been going for the short time we've been going. And right now, like we had a good day yesterday. I suppose you could say Natalie Lowndes won this morning in the February race. I've had a win today. But that's motor racing and the things. We're doing much better than we thought we'd ever do. So we're disappointed, but not over the moon about sort of getting crashed out sort of thing. But the thing is, like, you know, the series is a long way to go. The car will get better. We'll get better as we get better as a team. So, like, we're looking forward to the rest of the year.
He certainly had the car speed there before the accident too, didn't he?
I suppose we had the car dialed in pretty well for the weekend, and you've got to think about it's the first time we've been here with a Ford. So to get the data and to get the car up to speed now has been a great job by the team. And I suppose also, Greg, we didn't call a very good strategy today in the race. It wasn't one of our best calls, so it was up to Craig to see what he could do to win the race. It's no good coming second, that's the first for losers. So we were going for it, and Craig got the fast lap on the lap before he knocked out sort of thing. So that's not a bad result, really.
Keep smiling, mate.
Thanks, Greg. Thank you.
Well, at the other end of pit lane, I'm here with Jeff. Greg, the question we really want to know is, can Mark stay out there in this condition?
Well, Brad, we think so. I mean, it actually looked worse than what it is. I think when it hit, it's pushed all the sheet metal away from the tyre itself. So Mark said it's fine. So we said continue on. But we're obviously trying to go for some points.
I know we were anticipating this battle a lot watching the coverage. Were you as surprised as we were when the two came together, being old teammates?
Well, yes, we were. I mean, look, after yesterday, I mean, we're on the radio. I mean, we want to conserve our championship points, and I mean, if he had waited till he got on the straight, I'm sure it would have been an easy pass for Craig, but it surprised the hell out of us. But I guess only you could ask Craig that.
Has it moved the goalpost for you this afternoon? How do you call it from here?
Sorry, can you?
How do you call the race from here now for Mark?
Well, we honestly just want to get it home. I mean, to get it home, you get some points, and it's so crucial here to get good points. I mean, we're obviously not going to win now, but you know, the higher up we get, the more points, and then live to fight another day.
Thanks, Jeff.
Cheers.
Oh, Gibbo and Jeff Greg, they're a real couple of characters, aren't they? The bloke to watch is Ingle. Ingle's pulled a second out of Brighty in the last 2 laps, so he can sniff the victory.
And you have to consider where Jason Bright started this race.
Yeah.
Consider the dramas he had in the opening lap when that was all triggered by Steve Ellery and that drama. And, you know, you would have thought, oh, Bright is in trouble, but the strategy they pulled was clever. Here's Seaton battling for third at the moment. Kelly zeroing in, and then this battle here, it's a beauty between Ambrose and Stephen Johnson. Ambrose has got the foreshortened nose on the Pertec car. Johnson having a run down the inside. I think he might get the job done, and he does. Marcus didn't want to yield. He had to lock the brakes a little right at the very end, but Stephen had track position and got him.
Yeah, it's smart driving though, just to let him get through at the end of that. It could have all ended in tears with both cars getting damaged. So Marcus Ambrose, he had a very strong debut in the championship at Phillip Island 2 weeks ago. Came away from that round 5th in the points. If he continues where he is now, he's going to pick up another 275 points for the weekend. And that's nothing to sneeze at, continuing. He's coming back from major adversity. He got turned around in a collision with Todd Kelly in the opening laps of yesterday's race. Didn't get any points yesterday. Now he's staring down the barrel of close to 300. That'd be a very good result.
Stephen Johnson pushing very hard and motocrossing the car across the curbing at the chicane. He was into it then. 10 laps to run, nearing the end of 500 grueling kilometres of motor racing. Cars are tired, crews are tired, strategists are worn out. Feet and hands are blistered. By this stage of the game, you've absolutely had enough.
I thought you were going to say tyres are tired.
Everything's had it. We've had it. Let's have a look from above these cars. We'll show you some graphic pictures of just what this street circuit looks like from the chopper. It's terrific stuff. Run down towards turn 9. It's where all the trouble's been. Where we saw Skaife loop before and Canto in the wall, among others.
When they redo it, they're going to rename it Crompton Corner.
I mean, you know, I just think it ought to be improved for everybody's benefit.